I can't even get my good morning out because of our special guest in the building today. But good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, October the 1st. It's the 1st of October this year, almost over. And welcome to our Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce Let's Talk Business podcast. I am your host, the Vice President of Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, Board of Directors, and I also run 707 Management LLC. Oh, by the way, my name is Howard Johnson.
Oh, Lord.
We have a special guest in the building today, Miss Tabatha Barron. Tab. What's up, Tab?
Oh my gosh, I'm back. How about that?
I know. And the crazy thing is, we're sitting on opposite sides. Tabatha used to host the show. So she used to host the podcast. Now we sitting on different sides of the table. She the guest today.
I'm taking notes, and I'm gonna go ahead and give a survey at the end.
No surveys. No, I'm just kidding. So first, before we get started, we'd like to thank our President's Club members. We have Amico Federal Credit Union, Enlightened Enterprises, Lone Star College, the Linwood Group, Southwest Airlines, our travel partner, and Quality Precision Coating. They are President's Club, and they support our Let's Talk Business podcast. If you'd like to become a President's Club member, we accept all President's Club members. 832-875-3977. Give us a call at 832-875-3977 or visit our website, tricountyregionalblackchamber.org. So just check us out, man. And over here at Tri-County, our mission statement is we are committed to acquiring and disseminating valuable business information, resources, and tools for member firms to achieve entrepreneurial parity and economic prosperity in the region and internationally. So that's our mission here, and today that's what we will be talking about. We're going to get you some information. Our topic today is the benefits of membership and / how we assist business owners. Tri-County covers 4 regions. Region 1 is Harris County, Montgomery County, Liberty County. Region 2 is Galveston County, Brazoria County, Fort Bend County. Region 3 is Chambers County, Jefferson County, Orange County. And Region 4 is Jasper County, Newton County, and Hardin County. And we also have an international arm which operates in Central America, the Caribbean, South America, and Africa. So if you are in that area, or you know someone in that area, or in those areas that are looking to do business, then send them our way. We can help them out. And so we're going to hop right into it. I'm going to let Tabatha introduce herself to you. Well, really just kind of tell you about herself. This October the 1st, for us, this is the beginning of our physical year of what we're about to do, everything that's going on. So, but I'm going to let Tabatha tell you who she is. What's up, Tab?
Oh my, yeah. I missed you, Howard.
We were instructed to behave before we got on here, but I don't know how that's going to work.
I'm not 100% convinced that that's going to work, but we're going to try our hardest. So for me, my name is Tabatha Barron, and I am the founder and principal for Keeping Your Kids Safe. So we help kids go home the way the parents intended. That means no more children left in the back of the school bus, no more children dropped off at the wrong bus stop. Everybody goes home on time, every time. And you as a parent will get a text message. So I did that because my niece was put on the wrong school bus twice in the same school year as a 5-year-old and dropped off 5 miles away from where she was supposed to be.
Oh, wow.
At the end of the day, regardless of the times we're in, our children need support, and our principals and school districts also need our support, even though they don't necessarily behave like they want it.
And the crazy thing, your niece told them that she was on the wrong bus.
This was so bad. She said, "This isn't my bus." And they said, "Get on this bus anyway." So you break your own process to prove that you are bigger and better than the child that's telling you that she knows her way home. I'm confused. But, so we have to put some systems around that. So that's what we decided to do. But it also began working with, I've been with the chamber for a little bit of time, probably over a year now. And so I did a podcast during my first year. And then now I've just started a new role which is new member orientation.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are over new member orientation.
New member orientation and assessments, right? So
Yeah.
both two things that we're gonna talk about today.
Those are probably the most important things when you join the chambers. Those are the two most important things because they pretty much dictate the relationship. They dictate, they tell us. So they tell us how we can help you.
Mm-hmm.
You get an expectation of what you can get from us, and we get an expectation of what you desire from us. That way, there's nothing left to, what do they call that word? I can't think of it right now. I've been having like mental brain for just
It's COVID.
losses of vocabulary at times, but yeah.
Your brain has gone to lunch.
I'll think of it later. Yeah,
that's all right. But it does it reduces the opportunity for failure because we're in business. We get into business, and sometimes we have partners, and sometimes we don't. I currently don't.
The word could be disappointment. It eliminates the opportunity for disappointment.
Yeah,
that's
but it also
that wasn't the word I was looking for.
Disappointment. But it kind of helps you pad.
Yeah, when the expectations are lined out, then you don't set yourself up for disappointment. I mean, when if you expect something and it doesn't happen, then you're disappointed. But if you're given the line, this is the line. If you cross that line, you know what's gonna happen.
Like when we cross this line, and I'm gonna beat you.
You have been warned.
Yeah, but I think that ultimately the start of it all comes when you have to make a decision on your membership level.
Okay. All right.
So
well, let's talk about that. Yeah. I mean, let's jump right into it. Like we're gonna cover, just pretty much the benefits of membership. I'm gonna let Tabatha take over and kind of go through it because she runs new member orientation, so she knows what it takes. And we were laughing. I'm not even gonna repeat what we were laughing about downstairs when Mr. Yandre was talking about new member orientation and who's went through it and who hasn't. But
what she ultimately said was that you did not go through a new member orientation.
I mean, I'm old school. I've been here about 8 years, and I was thinking. No, she didn't say it first. I said it. I was like, she was like, yeah, some people ain't never even been through new member orientation. I don't think I went to new member orientation.
When you called my name, I was like, no, I did it.
I did it. Yeah, I did it. I went through it with you.
I was bright-eyed and bushy tail. Come on, tell me what you need.
And that's back when we were doing it in person. It's virtual now.
Now. And I think that for me, when I first came to the chamber, it was just an understanding of what I needed to do. So what did I need to do? I first had to identify what I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, they go in and they're like, I'm going to join everything that I possibly can.
Yeah.
But no, you have to be intentional in the choices that you make.
Exactly.
And the chamber actually has opened up the ability to have a 6-month program, a 6-month membership, and then just a basic membership, and then the corporate level, and then the lifetime member. And then, there's all these different levels of membership. So I always like to tell people, because I talk to different people about joining chambers, this chamber specifically, and I tell them that depends on what you want to accomplish. If you're trying to just say I belong to something, then okay.
You can join the social club. I'm just kidding. Join the chambers and say you belong to the chambers. Come on.
No.
We take that membership.
But then
too.
you have to do.
We take that membership too. No, I'm just kidding.
Membership. The benefits of your membership, the levels of your membership, because the one that she opened up for 6 months allows you to get your certification.
Yeah, you'll be able to, and it gives you an experience of the chambers. So if you're, I haven't met people. I've met some people who came here and weren't satisfied, but that was of their own doing.
Yes,
that was of their own doing. So, and here at the chambers, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So the way you run your business is how you run it. If it does not line up with what the chambers has going on, then unfortunately we will part ways.
Yeah.
But
so you can't. So what you're saying, they can't have a stripper club? No, just joking. No, you can do whatever business.
Whatever is within the law, whatever the law allows.
That's a very good disclaimer.
Yeah, we help people in business, within the ramifications of the law.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
But the one thing is with their membership, when you take a look at it, the lowest membership you can have allows you the time and the support to get your certifications completed. So that's your hub, minority, all of them. And so you can, so anything that the chamber now offers for certifications, you can now get here at the lower level for the 6 months. But then if you just want to just be a part of that and have a little bit of information, then you will go to the next level up, right? And then the corporate level opens up opens up way more. So that's your mentorship. That's what you were talking about before, your mentorship.
Coaching and mentoring,
all of that, but also that same amount of money you would pay for corporate, you can also pay to join the alliance program, which is extremely important when it comes to the fact that those alliances are set up because part of our conversation coming up here was that I'm being pushed out of certain districts because of the color of my skin. And so although people will never say this is the reason why we no longer want to work, we don't want to work with you.
We'll get back to you.
Yes. The brush off
we have your information and we'll get back to you. That's a nice way of saying that we're not going to
contact you at all.
Yeah.
No, we're not interested in you. So for those reasons, those alliances, when you're able to find one that is in alignment with what you're doing in business, because you are construction, so you have the alliance that can work for you, and then other people that are in trucking.
I also have a trucking company
that will. When did this happen?
Where have you been? No.
Apparently under a rock. That's what I'm saying. Under a rock.
Yes.
But yeah, so now you get the benefits of both of them. And I think everybody has an opportunity to do that.
So what Tabatha's talking about right now is we have an alliance program and they service 2 industries right now. One of them is trucking and the other one is construction. Okay. And trucking being logistics. So some people are like, oh, trucking, but logistics and trucking are the same thing. So, no, I'm not being facetious. I'm really, some people don't know, couldn't differentiate.
It's a Friday thing. It's a fog. You have brain fog for sure.
I think so, man. It's but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
We got you.
So the Alliance program, what that program does, it aligns you with other companies, other like companies, and allows you to increase the capacity of your company. So if you have 10 trucks and this other company has 20, now you have increased your capacity to a 30 truck company, and you can go after the larger contracts that, normally you would not be able to compete with. That's when in our membership mission, where we talk about entrepreneurial parity. That's what an alliance program does for you. It helps you, it assists you with entrepreneurial parity. And what parity is just a leveling of the playing field. So those big companies that are out there that compete for these larger contracts that normally you would not be able to go after, an alliance allows you to compete now.
Yeah.
So
because I tell you, we need to be able to come to Can I get a plate? I just take a saucer.
Yeah.
I
don't need a large plate. Just give me the small plate and just put a portion of what you put on his plate. Just put a portion of that. And just to give you an idea, let's say we're just gonna say $1 million contract.
Okay.
Just to make it simple. And the minority participation is 25%. That's $250,000 on just that one.
Yeah.
Just that one. But most of these contracts are in the millions, like I'm saying, 20 to $100 million, some larger than that. So if you start looking at the grand scope of things in that, it just, to have a small saucer of what the other person has. Just give me a piece of that. Absolutely. That entrepreneurial parity that the Alliance program offers you is what gets you the economic prosperity that we talk about in our mission statement. So
I know that's awesome. So and that's what I think. That's what's most important. I don't have a logistics. Okay, so I take this back. I have a technology logistics company, right? But it's not logistics in the way that I can go to TechStot.
Yeah.
I am logistically helping you move and navigate your dismissal.
And that TechStot that's the DBE certification. DBE certification allows you to do business with the Texas Department of Transportation. That's what TxDOT stands for.
Right.
All
So
of these highways and roads, all the construction you see on the roads out here, they need logistics companies and companies in trucking logistics to move this stuff around, and they have to have minority participation because it's a federally funded project. That means that the money comes from the government, and when the government gives their money, the certification, they have a minority participation that is stated, hey, look, for you to continue to get said monies from the government, we need you to at least do a good faith or due diligence to seek out minority contractors to be at 20 to 30 to whatever the percentage is they have for it. But and I'm saying this for people who may not know it. There, on any job that is funded by the government, there is a minority participation section in there. So
that's good. So when we go back to it, we say, okay, you choose your membership level.
Yeah.
You are an alliance member. What do I do now? What's happening?
Yeah.
Very, very first thing we're supposed to do
is what?
Is come see me.
New member orientation.
Because new member orientation actually allows an opportunity for me to get to know who you are and as a business owner, and helps me to show you what your membership is for and what it's about, right? So you're able to navigate the website, because I don't think people realize, Howard, I don't think people realize that that website is tricky.
Oh, very.
It's tricky.
It is.
Because when you first look at it as a non-member, you say, oh, this is nice, it's informational, it'd be cool to kind of join this. But what you don't know is that
that's just the tip of the iceberg.
In order for you to access the back end of the website, you really have to become a member.
And it says, the first thing it says on that website, it says connecting your business to the money. And the way you get connected to the money is you go right to the top and it says member login.
Right.
When you log in as a member, the whole screen changes because it gives you every single opportunity in every one of the regions that I just told you we service. Region 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 12 counties that it gives you the opportunities right there. And there are links to each one of the entities, each one of those government entities that are receiving these monies from the federal government, and logging in, becoming a member, and understanding that when you go to Tri-County's website and log in on their website, that gets you the access to that. Yeah.
So
to the money.
They don't realize that there is a second part of the second part of the website.
Yeah, they think it's just that pretty page that they get to the first time.
I get to go and watch some podcasts. Yeah. I get to sign up for some events.
Yep.
No, there's actually a little bit more to it. And I remember talking to the one gentleman, and we were going through new member orientation, and I was like, oh, well, what do you do? And he says, oh, I do construction and just various other positions, jobs that I find. And I said, okay, great. So let's go in, because I used my portal, and I went in, and I showed, and I clicked, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been looking for. The sad part about it is that he didn't finish all of his steps prior to meeting me that allowed him to be able to access that, because he just missed the deadline, but he had been a member. So the benefit of being a member and actually accessing that back end of the website is extremely important, because that could have been a difference between him being invited to the table to bid on that project versus him totally missing the opportunity altogether.
So what Tabatha is saying is that when you go through the steps and you log in as a member, it gives you the jump on everybody else, because it has the bids that are coming out. Some of them before they come out.
Yes.
The bids are listed on there because you're a member of Tri-County. You get to go in and look at the bids before it becomes a public announcement.
Yes, because once the public knows,
that means everybody knows. Right? Yeah,
everybody goes. Yeah. So new member orientation helps you navigate the website. It actually helps you to understand what certifications you may need, you may want to go to get, and then it helps you understand the process in order to get there. So that helps as far as that's concerned. And just remember, a lot of this information is not visible to you until you become a member.
Exactly.
So you get to be intentional on the choice of membership you have in front of you, and then why are you choosing to do that? But new member orientation should always be your first step, because it's an opportunity to understand who is who inside the chamber, and then it tells you what you need to do as you're navigating this new terrain. You know, because this membership, yeah, like you said, you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself, right?
And another thing that logging in does, it allows you to set up your member account and your profile. So in your profile, you will be able to put information about your business, so that when people are looking for the services that you provide or the product that you sell, we can direct them to you. But if you never log in and you never put that information, then you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're going to miss out. And we use that. That's our directory. That's the network. And the network is not available until
you log in.
The new member orientation.
Because the thing, and I'm glad you said that, because I was like, that's what I was thinking. That's what we need to do. The thing about that is, when you go to log in and you go into the directory, you get to be listed in the directory.
Yeah.
Do you know that I just found somebody I've been talking to for months? Now, I've been talking back and forth with them about something totally different. And then yesterday, I had a different conversation. I was like, hey, what do you do? And I found out, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have been, that's exactly what I said. I've been looking for you, right? But the point is as it's listed in a directory, you get an opportunity to network with other people who are very similar to you, or that may be a good complement to your business. And then you get to take a look. What if somebody's doing the same thing you're doing? And then what are they doing that's different from you?
Yeah.
And it's not, so competition is good when it helps you grow.
Yeah.
Competition is not good when you use it as a tool to destroy another, right?
Yeah.
But I do think competition encourages an increase in an awareness that you may not have previously had.
And I look at it a little differently. I don't see it as competition. I don't see another construction company as competition.
Okay.
I see another construction company as an opportunity for one or two things. One, for me to learn something from them, or two, for me to teach them something.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. I don't really see, if you're in the same business as me, if we both do construction and we're both headed there, you will never be able to take a job from me.
That is meant for you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Boom.
I 100% believe that.
Boom.
And I too do not believe in competition in my field.
Hold on, that part.
That part, I was gonna say that part right there.
Yeah. You'll never be able to take a job that's for me. If I'm going after a job and I don't get that job, then it's something that I did not to get it. It's nothing you did to stop me from getting it. I mean, even if you have a conversation with the person, he says, well, I talked to him and, I decided not to choose you. The job wasn't for me.
Right. But I think that's almost like a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But again, back to me.
Yeah.
To me, so both of us have it. We look at different things. Yeah, I know. I'm taking it back from you because you're just misbehaving over there. But the thing about it is that child safety is not a competition. Period. End of story.
Because it's not about the business. It's about the result. It's about the product. So child safety is that. It's about the safety of the children.
Right. So,
it's not about a competition between your company and their company who's going to get the business to keep the kids safe. It's about keeping the kids safe. And if both of you have to form an alliance to do it, then
let's do it.
The job, the end product, the end result is what we're concerned about. And hopefully that's what the parents and the school systems are concerned about, keeping those kids safe.
You would think the school districts are concerned about that, but we won't discuss that here. So here's the thing.
Politics
all day long. But it's true, because my whole entire thing is that why not join forces to accomplish the same goal?
Exactly.
But at the same time, for me, when I walk in and I say, hey, I would like to, introduce myself and my product to you, and they say, oh, we already have something, I'm like, great, I'm so glad you have something, thank you very much. If anything changes, let me know, right? Because the point is that at least you have something, because the manual processes don't always work. But see, I look at things differently than other people, because other people look at it as a way to push you out. But then that comes all the way back down to why we do the assessment, right?
Mhm.
So there's the second part, the next step that we take after new member orientation is to go ahead and do an assessment.
Mhm.
And inside that assessment, we identify, we do a SWOT and we do an evaluation, not of your business, but just have you have a conversation with me and to get me to understand what you're doing, what your goals are.
Mhm.
And then that way we can build a SWOT analysis that helps prepare you for access to capital.
What's a SWOT analysis?
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
So you guys got that right. I knew what it was. I just wanted her to outline it. So the assessment helps you with your strengths. It helps you with your weaknesses. What else?
Opportunities and threats.
And threats.
Okay. So with all of that, what I always encourage and suggest for people. I know when we all go into this job and the man sits there in front of you. Normally it's a man for me because of the field I'm in. It's very rarely a woman. But they say, "What are your strengths?" And then what are your weaknesses? And everybody scrambles on the weaknesses.
Mhm.
Well, if I give them my weakness, then they won't hire me.
Yeah.
And if I tell them this, then they won't. But ultimately, that weakness. This reason why they ask you to turn your weakness into a strength.
Mhm.
And what you say is makes them have them understand that you are working on it.
Exactly.
So when you
and
have,
if you can identify
yes,
it.
so you've identified that. Oh my gosh, when this one man speaks to me, I want to my skin crawls, right?
Mhm.
That's you saying, okay, now I have to figure out how to work through that.
Yeah.
I don't. You have some people that don't really care to work with men, so that is a problem for them.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you're working with, then that means that the man that comes forward doesn't recognize that you're unhappy with who he is as a person, but you're willing to work past it for the greater good. And I think that people need to start to look at things like that in those terms, because your weakness is not saying you're bad at what you're doing. It's just saying that I've identified something I need to work on. And so we move it to the strength. And your threats are things that put you out of business, right?
Exactly. And
So
you want to know those. You have
to know those. Okay, so let's give really good examples.
What you don't know won't hurt you. What
Lies.
you don't know will put you out of business.
Lies they tell you. Because at the end of the day, I have to say that look at retail today.
Yeah.
Retail did not listen.
Mm-mm.
They did not. So they seen the threat. And you know what they said? People are not going to do virtual. They want to try it on. They want to touch it, feel it, love it, whatever.
How many malls do you see closing down? Just
exactly.
around in prominent areas like I mean, walk through the Galleria, you'll see. That's a mall here in Houston. I don't know what the Galleria was. You'll see a lot of the high-end stores are still there, but there are some stores that have changed because they had to get a really good, and if the stores that are still around that still have a brick and mortar, they had to get really creative and offer different services that are virtual because you walk in some areas. I mean, look at man.
Look, I mean, how many stores closed down? So Radio Shack is gone. Well, Radio Shack.
I used to love Sears. I love
Sears.
Sears is gone.
What is the one? There was it Montgomery Ward?
Montgomery Ward was a store.
Macy's is closing down some of
their stores.
So it's just the point being made is that you being a small company or a fledgling company means that the threats are greater for you. And the cards are kind of stacked against you to survive it. And so when you take a look at your threats, you're taking a look at the opportunity that you may have. That's what it is. So again, threats is nothing but an opportunity for you to resolve and then bring that in as part of your financial road forward.
Exactly.
So those are the things. So the SWOT analysis actually puts you in position for your business plan because the bank is going to ask you some questions.
A bunch of questions.
And some of them questions you're going to get the answer from your SWOT.
Yep. Because
the SWOT actually identifies those things that the bank says, well, why should I invest in you? Why should I give you this money?
What's the risk?
Yes.
How much of a risk are you to me?
Yes.
And your SWOT will tell you that. And then you are automatically with that SWOT able to overcome objections that you did not know were there. Because you're preparing yourself.
Because you're prepared.
And all that came from what? This little bitty assessment that we do?
Oh yeah, the conversation with Tabatha that normally ends in some type of hilarious thing.
Yeah, you'll get a story whenever you sit down and talk to Tabatha. You will have a story to tell your kids. she will have you laughing. Yeah, and I was, it's funny, and I guess we were just giving you examples that you could relate to, because I was looking around, and I mean, you think about, they used to have Albertsons here.
What is that? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a grocery store. It's like a Randall's. Really? Yeah.
Okay.
All the Albertsons in Houston are gone.
Really?
Yeah. Some of the Randalls are closing. Fiesta. They've closed some of their stores. Like,
really?
Yeah, I was the one located in Third Ward. The Fiesta located in Third Ward is closed now. It's shut down. It's some type of business now.
Fry's is gone.
And here's
Fry's is shutting down.
Yeah, Fry, their biggest location that was on 45 and on the north end, that one shut down, and they were a large store.
Very large.
So a huge store.
So if the bigger people are having these problems,
yeah,
why do you think that you're going to be any different?
It's taking a few million to shut them down. And I mean, just imagine if you had a few million. $1 million threat that hit you, what would you do? As a small business, it's not a lot you could do.
Yeah,
you know?
So it's really important to prepare for that. And so access the capital.
That's all we're stressing.
Yeah, access the capital and business plan, and that's part of your SWOT. So when we do the SWOT, that's what we're trying to get you prepared for, because we all need to overcome the objections. So when you walk up to a girl.
Yeah, we gotta behave.
Howard. When you walk up to a girl and you say, I know you girls at home, but just in your younger days, it's like, but when you walk up to a girl and you're like, hey, I can see that I possibly could be a threat, but are you willing to overcome that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't, and she shuts you down. You don't go back and say, I'm never going to talk to another girl again. Yeah. What you figure out is, what did you say to her that she felt like it was never going to turn into an opportunity?
And so, here's the crazy thing. I've always been big on personal development. So when I was on the dating scene, if somebody decided not to talk to me, I say, you know what? I call them and be like, hey, you ain't really act like I wanted you to act, and that's cool. I want to ask you a question. And let me start by saying, you don't owe me anything, but I would really appreciate it if you told me your reason behind your decision. And 9 times out of 10, I get, well, you said this and said that, and we're not compatible, and so I just didn't want to waste your time or mine. And it allowed me to personally develop myself, because 9 times out of 10, a person has the wrong narrative about you. If they decide not to talk to you, especially me, because I'm like this super cool, talented guy that knows a lot of stuff and does a lot of stuff, and I'm slightly handsome at times, and when I cut my hair, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But people normally take an assessment from you off of first impression, and there's no real way to have a first impression of someone who is multifaceted.
Right.
You only get a piece of the pie at that particular time. So, personal development was always big for me, and the assessment allows you to put together all of the things that you need for your business. For
development. Because you bring up, that is a very good point, because even though we're preparing you for access to capital or, your business plan, it also actually allows you to understand where your personal and business development needs to happen. So the opportunities that you actually find out, you're like, okay, in order for that threat to come into an opportunity, I have to do X, Y, and Z. You would not have been able to identify that prior to completing an assessment. And so that's one of the things we have to do. But then the other thing is that it allows the right people to be attracted to you. Because I don't know how many times people do not know who their customer base is. They don't know who they're going after. They have no clue what they're aiming for. And most of the time, I've learned is that when they're completing the SWOT, or when we are going over some of the SWOTs, a lot of times you don't understand who your target market is, so you don't understand how to complete the SWOT. Because the target audience, who you're trying to sell to, who you're trying to convince that you are the greatest grilled cheese maker on the planet. It's not. But who likes grilled cheese?
Yeah.
Not lactose intolerant people,
No.
right? So you have to really understand who you're selling to,
Yeah.
so that as you're selling to them and as you're completing your SWOT, you now have a better understanding of what is it that I need to do to reach that person in order to attract them to you, so that you can be like, so every day I'm gonna be here buying grilled cheese, Howard, because
Grilled cheese
best
is one
grilled
of my
cheese.
favorites, by the way.
There's a
Grilled cheese and peanut butter and jelly. I could eat those every night.
Clearly, you and my son have been speaking. I don't know what's happening here. I said when he was very young, I needed to buy stock and peanut butter because this mess is ridiculous. But yeah, that's just all those things.
Well, this is our Let's Talk Business podcast, man. So we talking about business. We talking about the benefits of membership and how we can assist business owners. But while we're taking a quick little break, I want to thank our President's Club members again: Amico Federal Credit Union, Enlighten Enterprise, Lone Star College, the Linwood Group, Southwest Airlines, our travel partner, and Quality Precision Coding, in supporting our Let's Talk Business podcast. And like I said, if you want to become a President's Club member, it is really, really easy. Just give us a call at 832-875-3977. Also, you can go to our website, TriCountyRegionalBlackChamber.org. That's TCRBC.org. So,
you are hilarious.
I mean,
you're funny. TCBCC.org.
Yeah.
That's the one you don't want to say, but honestly, it redirects.
Yeah.
Look, it does redirect.
Yeah, it'll redirect you.
Because I entered it in multiple times because I like, it becomes easier and it flows a lot. It flows instead of trying to figure out. But you're funny.
Yeah, so we're just.
So did you do your SWOT analysis, Howard?
Not with you. And I'm actually here's the thing. I'm a vet in the game, and I'm the vice president, so I have to lead by example. So I will be setting up my new member orientation with Tabatha here pretty soon. It's always a plum pleasing pleasure to talk with Tabatha. We laugh and joke and leave with different jokes, and we'll see each other be like, "Hey, remember that joke we had the last time?"
I know.
So
we cannot seem to get it together here.
I mean, but I tell people like all the time, they're like, "Oh, I'm not serious about anything." There is nothing in life that I'm serious about. I'm passionate about some stuff. I'm passionate about a lot of things, and I think passion outweighs seriousness any time of the day. You know, so but serious, no, not a serious bone in my body.
Well, this is funny. So now that I say this, I know that you're not serious, but now that we have this conversation, so for the SWOT, how often should you complete one?
At least, it depends. It depends on the business. It depends on what you're doing. For me, I would do it every 6 months.
Right.
For a business that doesn't have a bunch of clientele or is not client oriented, once a year. I say reassess every year, and that gives you a meter. It gives you a gauge to see, because what's going to happen is after a year, you're going to see changes to your business, and that will give you more confidence in business, because you'll say, "Oh my gosh, this was my weakness last year, and now it's on my strength side." And please keep a record of your first SWOT and your SWOT app for that next year and the following year, and you'll look back, and this is a gem. You'll look back 4 years later. That means you've been in business for 4 years now. That means your business, the threats didn't take you out. So you look back 4 years later at that first SWOT and like, man, all the opportunities I turned into strengths. You know, all the threats I eliminated, you know, all the weaknesses I'm working on. What are my new weaknesses? Okay, so that weakness list went from, I'm going to be modest and say 5 down to now 2.
Right.
You know, in a matter of years. And, you know, and then you're still doing the business development, you're working on personal development. That those 2 weaknesses, you can get them to where, you know, they could be minimal in business. In business, there is the opportunity to have no weaknesses. And I'll say that again. In business, there is an opportunity to have no weaknesses in business, but it takes work.
I don't know that. I don't not agree with that one.
Okay, come on.
And the reason why is because there's always an opportunity to improve. So there's always going to be a point of weakness. So every single building you build has a point in which if something compromises the integrity of the building, it will bring it down. And they'll be like, well, wait, look at Florida. Florida started having things happen to that building.
That building was messed up from the start.
But wait a second. But you say from the start, so there was a point of weakness, but it stood for a long period of time, and all of a sudden it just collapsed on one side. I don't know much about construction.
Here's the thing. If the foundation had been laid correctly the first time, no, not even the foundation. I won't even get into the foundation. So in building, you do what's called a soils test. Okay. It's called a geographical report. So you take the geographical.
I'm in your space now.
Yeah, you take the geographical report first, and that tells you drill down 20, 30 feet deep and test the soil, and it tells you the density, the strength, how high, what you can put on there, how deep you need to put the pillars to support the weight for the height. So there is something, and that's the thing. When me and my father were talking about it, he was like, "What you think happened with this building in Florida?" I said, "There are going to be some engineers and architects that are going to be sued out the wazoo, because they're the ones that's responsible for laying this stuff out. They lay out, okay, you can put a building this tall on there. If you go with a 20-story building, you have to have this much support under the bottom of it." So what initially happened is, and then they'll tell you, hey, you need a retainer wall here to stop the ocean from coming in, because the ocean is going to pull water out of here at this rate every year. So there are a lot of things that have to be accounted for, especially when it's a beachfront property, especially when it's in the swamp, especially when the land itself is already under sea level. So there are a lot of things that have to be accounted for that may not have been accounted for. And also you got to look at this. That's salt water. That's not water from a lake. So if they use the different type of material versus a reinforced steel, galvanized steel, and they decided just to use a regular piece of steel, then that salt water would eat that material up. So it could be a number of things that cause that particular problem. It's unfortunate, that it happened and that people got hurt, but at the end of the day, it's a hey, did the engineer state that this is what you needed? And if that engineer stated that, and then that problem falls back on the engineer. Well, if the engineer didn't state it, it falls on him. But if he stated it, then it falls on the builder. And the builder cut some corners or whatever the case may be. But
you just proved the point of there is still a weakness.
Nah, if you work on it, but what I said is, if you work on it really, really hard, then you can get it to
minimize your
you can
your
get them
weaknesses.
to where
but you still do have
I guess so.
A sense of art.
I retract my statement. You still have weaknesses. Tabitha's right. No, I'm just kidding. But you are. You are.
But this is true, because I just think that when you say to yourself, I'm 100% perfect, right, and together. That's what you're saying when you say you have no weaknesses. That there's no opportunities for you to get better than who you are, to what you have today. And I want to be.
There's always room to grow.
Exactly, and that's why there's always going to be a weakness.
I don't really think weakness is associated to growth, though. I think that growth is associated to capacity, and as long as you can find ways to increase your capacity, I don't think it's an elimination of weakness that allows an increase of capacity. I think it's just a understanding of business that allows you understanding and application that allows you to increase capacity, and that's what I think. I don't think that's tied to the weaknesses.
It's development. Howard, what is happening over there? Weakness in personal development. You can't develop without understanding, unless you identify where you're supposed to develop, which comes out your weakness.
But
you're funny. You're just making.
But some people can personally develop and figure out the weaknesses and personally develop, but not increase capacity.
Young people who go into college with no clear understanding of where they're going to go, they just flounder and drink a lot. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But my whole entire thing is that, let's go back to my original question, which was how often do you do your SWOT analysis and the weaknesses, right? And it's once a year that you should evaluate both your business plan and your SWOT analysis. And that just allows you the opportunity to evaluate how well you're doing or how well you're not doing, and whatever pivots you may have had to take along the way.
So what's a business plan? What are you talking about?
That business plan, you're hilarious. That's the thing that they ask the bank.
Yeah.
Man, you're talking about,
get some money.
My gosh, projections is probably the worst thing in the world for me. But you're talking about your projections, your target audience, you know, what does the industry currently pay for it, pay for what you're trying to do. So all of those things that go into a business plan is what you will hand over to the bank for them to evaluate whether or not you are a good enough risk for them to lend you money, or an investor who would ask, whether it's angel, VC, family office, whatever that's going to be. It allows them the opportunity to understand, see a snapshot or an understanding of how well you understand your business, one, and then the understanding of the market you're trying to breach in order to make money, and if it's going to be one that's feasible for them. Because investors, they're like, if I don't see a way out in 5 years, I don't want to invest. So that's where most of them sit. And then there are other ones that understand that sometimes it rides a little longer. But the very first thing that they'll ask you for is an executive summary and a business plan. And that executive summary, it lists out, you know, all of the great things about you. It's like a one-page resume. Because if they get past that one-page resume, then they're going to ask you for your business plan. When they ask you for your business plan, they're going in deeper. And so that's talking about your projections. They're talking about your competitors, what they consider competitors, which I don't consider competitors. I consider them, what did I call? I called them partners. Yeah. They're partners in child safety, so I call them partners. People are like, oh my, you partner with them? No, but they're partnering to do child safety, so that's how I look at it. So, and it helps to find out whether or not you know, how well do you know your business? Because a lot of people, everybody hates a business plan. It is not the best thing on the planet to do. But it helps you understand your business, and that is all information is necessary in order for you to be able to financially support your dream.
Yeah, and one thing I can say about my business plans with the S is that none of them ever worked out the way that I planned it.
Exactly, but at least you planned something because.
And that's the goal behind it, is for you to put it down and don't say, oh, I got a business plan up here. It does you no good up here. Put it out on paper, make it plain, make it clear, write it down, you know, take a picture.
In your head is unicorns.
Yeah, exactly.
In your head is unicorns. It's not a dream. It's literally, everything works in theory in your head. But when you put it on paper and then you start mapping it out and saying, like, okay, how do you do that?
Crazy.
That's not going to work out, yeah. Right?
Who thought that was going to work? But you, in your mind, it worked. Right. It did. And it will. Everything in your mind will work.
Everything.
And that's how our minds are designed. They're designed to make things work. So everything in your mind will work. And if you don't want to succeed, then just keep it in your mind. But put it on paper. And what that does for you, it makes it tangible. And when things become tangible, then they're in the universe, they're out there, and you can fix them at that time.
I like this one phrase I just heard earlier this week. He said that if you can measure it, you can improve it. So the thing about it is that a SWOT analysis, a business plan, all of those things that feed into your business are all measurements. So if you can measure your business, and if you can show somebody else your measurement, then you will take your measuring stick and measure against it in the years that will come. And being able to do that actually allows you to improve upon it. So the first plan, and I've had a few business plan. No, I remember this one guy walked up to me because I had been in a couple accelerators and whatever, and the one gentleman walks up to me and to my table, and the business is set up. I have my little booth and everything, and he says to me, "You have not changed course, not once." And I said, "Okay, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm confused." And he was like, "No, it's a good thing." He says, "You're one of the only companies that I've ever had to watch never have to change it." And the reason why is because in the early stages of what I was doing, I literally sat and I would write it. I wrote out how I wanted it to work. And then when I found out, when it didn't sound like it was going to work the way I needed it to work, I would change it while it was still on paper.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time they seen me, they found me, they were with me, it was already solidified how it was going to work. You know what I mean? And so what they noticed was that I was extremely prepared for the start. And a lot of people don't prepare themselves for the start. And so there is one there, and I have weaknesses, because I'm going to tell you, on the one side, I'm not driven by money.
Well, I don't have any. How about that?
Yeah, how about that? I'm all right with that. No,
no, I have weaknesses too. A bunch of them.
Samson, I'm telling you. I'm cutting of the hair. But the thing was, I do have a side. I'm not driven by money. So there's a part of me that should be a nonprofit.
What?
I'm just 100% not driven by money, and that becomes problematic for me for my going forward.
Well, you know, that's where I get back to the serious and passionate. If you're passionate about things, then money is not the driving force behind it. Money is just a product of what you do.
Right.
So for me, money became a product of what I do. I don't take jobs based on the money. I take jobs based on the level of peace that I will have when I do them, because I'm at a position where I didn't have to search for a client base anymore, because I was in a position to purchase the property myself, remodel it myself, and then hire a realtor to sell it for me. So therefore, I'm not the middle person where you own the property, I'm your contractor, and then once I'm done, I leave. No, I'm making the money all the way around the board.
I like your business model.
When I select a client at this time, if I'm going to work with somebody, I have to have the understanding. Okay, well, it has to be peace for me. So I don't go out and advertise. You can only get me by referral, and that referral has to come from somebody that I've worked with before. So, you know, most of the time, or I really trust them and like them, because I've dealt with some people sometimes, and it's just like, you know what, this is not going to work for me. I don't normally do this type of work for people anymore because of this reason right here. So, you know, I have to have peace. And I've been challenged on a lot of jobs, and I'm pretty good at dealing with people. So the last job I completed was a bit of a challenge, but we got finished, we got through it, and I had to keep reminding the customer, I'm like, okay, this is a $50,000 job, and you're arguing with me about a $100 problem. I was like, and the argument is not it's not a back and forth with me and her. It's her coming to me, telling me what it is, and then taking 20 minutes to explain why she feels like that. I said, ma'am, it's $100. I will buy that. She's like, what? But wait, I didn't even tell you why. Yeah, I said, the garage door? I said, those are $400. I'll replace those. She was like, well, your guys did. I said, it doesn't matter who did it. You're not happy with it, I'll replace it. There was no way my guys did it. It was a dumpster parked there the whole time. But, you know, it's neither here nor there. So in business, for me, and like you said, it's not about the money. The money, listen, people, if you are in business and you are passionate about what you do, you have your SWOT, you have your business plan, and you're not chasing the money, the money will come.
Yeah.
That will be the least of your worries.
Yeah.
The people you deal with, they're going to be...
the headache that comes after. And you bring up a very good point, because inside the SWOT, people, I have heard this so many times. Please tell your friends, stop saying this. I give excellent customer service. No.
I make an attempt at providing good customer service.
But please explain what customer service means to you, because customer service means to me and what it means to you are two totally different things.
Exactly.
You know, so if you come heavily prepared and ready and ready to go, and you're just like, okay, great. I'm giving good customer service. I'm thinking 2 steps ahead of you, so you feel that's good. But other people may see that as you are being arrogant, or you have too big of an ego, and you're not allowing me to make that journey. So you really have to be careful of saying I give great customer service, because one of the conversations I've had just recently about customer service was eye-opening to the point where I don't think that the understanding of what true customer service is currently exists today, because people say they're winning because their bank accounts are big, but you're losing because if you look at some of the companies that are, I mean, even when we talk about it, you look at some of the companies that we even discussed, they did not listen to the threat that was looming over them. Amazon was very strategic about what they were choosing to do. And so that put a lot of people in situations where they really had to evaluate their business. But because you look at it and you say, oh, they're winning because they got $1 billion, or oh, they're winning because they still bringing in money. But what part are you winning? Because if you're winning in the commercial side and losing in the consumer side, remember, your commercial leaders are actually your consumers. So if you screw the pooch on the consumer side, that same person you disrespected in the store.
If you screw the poots.
Pooch. Anyway, so if you do that, if you mess over a consumer, that same consumer is the decision maker that allows you to determine whether or not they will do business with your company. So are you truly winning just because other people you didn't get an opportunity to mess over? And so then they don't get to make the decision based on their experience. So you have to really be careful about how to do that when you're talking about customer service.
I hope people came here today with the open heart and a receptive mind to receive this information. This has been a great podcast. We're right at the end. It's been almost a whole hour. Yeah, and it's always like that with me and Tabatha. We have this energy, and it's back and forth. But this has been our Let's Talk Business podcast with Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. Again, I want to thank our President Club members, Amico Federal Credit Union, Enlighten Enterprise, Lone Star College, the Linwood Group, Southwest Airlines, our travel partner, and Quality Precision Coatings in supporting our Let's Talk Business podcast. And like I said again, if you want to become a President's Club member, 832-875-3977. Tell them Howard sent you. So,
we'll leave the lights on for you.
In closing, is there anything that you would like to add or anything you want to really drill down to the people?
Right. So I just want to make sure that we're very clear. So the very first step is to identify what level of membership you would like to have with the chamber.
I thought member orientation was no. I'm just kidding.
You're funny. So you check on you check on the level of membership that you want to have for the chamber. Make sure that what you understand that the level you choose is going to give you access to the tools that you will need. The second one is to attend a new member orientation. Ask as many questions as you possibly need and think of at that moment, because that is actually going to open the gateway to how you're going to be able to get closer to the money, whether that's access to capital, different programs, or anything like that. And then the third thing is to go ahead and complete the assessment. So the assessment, again, is going to give you the SWOT analysis and get you prepared for your business plan and help you to build a business development and a personal development pathway so that you can continue to improve your business. And those are the 3 steps I strongly believe will set you up for great success inside of Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And it's offered here, and I think that everybody should go ahead and make it a point to make it a priority. When you sign up, go to the event page, sign up for new member orientation, because it's done every week virtually on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. And so I welcome anybody to come on over, hang out with me for about an hour, 45 minutes.
And if you come next week, I'll be on there. So your vice president will be on there doing his new member orientation.
This is going to be hilarious. I don't know if I'm going to make it through that one.
But yeah, so here at the Chambers, we help you with access to capital. We have the certification workshops. We have the technical assistance, coaching and mentoring, marketing and procurement, and exclusive chamber events. And as Tabatha said, depending on the level that you choose, that will get you the services that I just talked about. So, join Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And if you decide not to join us, there are a few other good chambers out there, but join a chamber, get involved in a network, increase the capacity of your business, align with somebody or someone that's doing what you are doing or can assist you in business development. And that's what we do here. Again, I've been going through our sponsors, and I wanted to thank gmtradio.com, www.gmtradio.com. They make our podcast possible. Anything that you're doing, wedding events, business events, TV, radio, commercial, podcasts, radio shows, plugs, whatever it is that you want to do, studio time, music, anything in the entertainment, media industry, contact GMT Radio, gmtradio.com. Go to your Apple Store, your Google Play Store, and download the app. They have an app, GMT Radio app. They have TV channels, everything, man. They call the boy nice because he nice. my
Yes,
cousin, Mr. Johnson. But once again, this has been our Let's Talk Business podcast with Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. I am your host, Howard Johnson, the Vice President of the TCR-BCC Board of Directors, and also I am the Managing Member of 707 Management, LLC. Today's topic was the benefits of membership and how we can assist business owners. I really hope you guys took something from this that will help you with your business and help you just navigate the business world. Again, Tabatha, it was so great hanging out with Tabatha. Tabatha, let the people know what it is you do again in your business and how they can reach you.
Awesome. So my name is Tabatha Barron. I am the principal for Keeping Your Kids Safe. We help students go home the way the parents intended. No more children left in the back of the school bus. No more children dropped off at the wrong bus stop. Everybody goes home on time every time. And you, as a parent, gets a text message. By the way, dismissal is not just about yellow bus. It's about all of them. So our system actually covers 100% of the school population, which means you can get a message to your phone telling you that your child has begun to walk home. They are with the nanny who you had pick up in the car rider line, and your child care bus actually picked your child up to take them to where they're going. So, and we can be reached through by info@kyksfirst.com. That's info@kicksfirst.com, or you can call 832-405-8036.
Alrighty, well, this has been our podcast. We'll see you Friday, October the 8th, same time. Be sure to listen up live on GMT Radio.